Just as my anxiety's starting to get better, Minecraft goes ahead and pops removed Herobrine back into the patch notes. I mean, as if they haven't done enough to scare us, huh? But don't worry lads, I am kitted out, full diamond armour, and of course a bow with instant damage too. So if this dude comes along, I'm pretty sure he ain't going to stand a chance against me. But why would he want to hurt a harmless redstoner, huh? That is the question. I mean, it's cool because Derek's down there and he's still got his diamond armor on. Is this... Ah, hold on. That isn't my horse. These are my horses. Derek and his right-hand man. Derek and his right-hand man. Derek's got gold armor on! Lads. Oh my god. I mean, I still have chickens left in my world from a bit of a disaster that we had a long time ago involving a large amount of chickens. I can't remember if that was in a Redstone tutorial episode. I think it was. Anyway, like I say, harmless redstoners. That's what we are. So we don't need this, or this, or this, or the diamond armor. All we need is our brains and obviously redstone. Okay, let's start playing. Let's go. Let's start talking about this thing again. My microphone. I'm going to mention my microphone again, just like I did at the start of last episode. The background noise should be the same. It should be nice and minimal. I'll just let you listen again because it's absolutely beautiful. And I noticed in the last episode my mic sensitivity was a little bit loud and it was capping off quite a bit, so I've turned it down a touch, and now you should just be hearing my perfectly clear voice. Now, no decorating today, none of that. We're going hard redstone, that's what we're doing. We're aiming for about 30 minutes episode, I guess, and I'm going to try and minimise the amount of cuts that I make because editing is starting to take up a long period of time, and it's really not that nice actually, surprisingly, because I can sit there. Well, last episode was what, 25 minutes long, something like that, but I actually recorded for 55 minutes. I actually put it in there, building all of this and doing all of that, and I had 55 minutes of footage and I had to sit there and watch it all. So it took me about an hour to go through and edit a video that ended up being 20 minutes long. So the equation that I usually use, and I do actually use an equation for this, I use edit time equals record time times by 1.3, something like that. So say I record for, let's go, 30 minutes, and then we times that by 1.3, it's going to equal 39. Yep, 39 minutes in order to edit it. So you can imagine if I record for one whole hour, then it's going to take me quite a long time to actually edit it. So obviously if we times it by 1 times 1.3 is obviously 1.3. So it's going to take me an hour and a half pretty much. I'd say probably, no, not an hour and a half. I'm actually completely wrong, I think. Hold on. Because if you times 1.3, if you times 1 by 1.3, it's obviously 1.3, but it probably wouldn't take me an hour and a half. So I think my formula might be slightly wrong. I'm going to have to add some parameters in. If I record for an hour, then it will take me a good hour and 45 or an hour and 50 minutes to edit it. So maybe my formula is a little bit wrong. But anyway, I hate maths. I said that in the last episode. I'm absolutely awful at it. But somehow I managed to do okay in computer science at school. So I did a little bit of work here on ways in which we can efficiently separate this thing. I think I was trying to not lose much efficiency. So if we go ahead and try this thing out, Is this going to work? So that one gets powered. This one will obviously be okay. Oh no, but that means I would have to put a redstone repeater in there. That doesn't need to be there. This one can come straight out the side and not get any interference. This one can come straight down here and not get any interference. If I'm honest, I can't remember when I started working on this, but it works, I think. If we just go ahead and have a look. I'm pretty sure all of them lines are separate, so if we went ahead and just took out all of the blocks, if we wanted to add them one by one, we'd be able to see if they powered anything else. Okay, so I'm pretty sure this is the most efficient way of splitting these things. And so now our challenge for today is putting this thing and attaching it onto these torches along here. So we add just a line across there. I was on 35 frames then. That is really bad. I'm back up to about 70-ish now. But I was on 35 frames. Something in this world is really causing a lot of lag. Anyway, we obviously go ahead and do this. And now the ones that have a repeater are going down. And the ones that don't are going out. Now I'm pretty sure the bottom one just drops down twice. Yeah, it does. So what I tried to do, you know this thing up here, you know where we split it all off and kind of half and halved it. It was a really efficient bus design because look at the amount of repeaters it uses. It doesn't use a lot, but it's still compact. So that's kind of the idea that we're going off of here. I looked at that and thought, hold on, why don't I just do everything like that? And that is indeed what we're going to do here, because we're only using one repeater per line, which is absolutely crazy. Now go over into this thing and look at how many repeaters I've used here in order to split them. Now that is actually quite embarrassing. And then look at how I put them back in. Just an absolute mess of repeaters and blocks. Also, I had someone leave a comment, a very intelligent comment that I didn't think about because I'm absolutely stupid. You know we have the little glitches where the pistons get powered through a block. I used to put a repeater on top so it didn't happen. I am so stupid. It is unreal. I could have literally just run it through a block and that probably would have got rid of it. Or I could put a slab on top of the thing. I can't remember who it was exactly. I could try and find your name quickly on my phone. I'm going to do that while I speak. He just said, don't waste efficiency. Just put a slab on top. And I sat there to myself for a minute and I thought, oh yeah. And I sat and I started to realise that I try and make things way too complicated. It is crazy. This name right here. Don't waste efficiency. Just use slabs on top of pistons to prevent buds. Yeah, thanks. Because I, for some reason, couldn't think of that. My brain never wanted to accept the fact that just using normal blocks in Minecraft is a way of cancelling out a bug. Now that is one of my, I think, probably flaws in how I do redstone. I always try and do things with just redstone and just repeaters and just torches. I never think about the other dynamics of the game, such as using blocks and also using slabs in order to cancel out or stuff like that. Now if you look at most of my computer or ALU or anything designs like that, you will see that most of the time I don't really... Oh, look at that. I'm seeing so many awful things right now. Look at that. I didn't even need that there. The more I say, the more I'm embarrassing myself, so I think I might just stop. But I was just saying, if you look at all of my designs, you will rarely ever see blocks being used in like incorporating into a redstone design. I never really use blocks and power blocks to power other things, and I never use redstone blocks either, which I probably should because it'll be a good idea. Anyway, back to it, lads. I'm going to take a sip of my cold tea. Let's get building. Now this thing has to go down twice in order to be out of connection range, so I'll show you what I mean by that. This thing is dropping one anyway. Actually, no it's not. I just lied, of course. Actually, yeah it is. The whole thing drops by one. I've just thought about that. Which, do we want that to happen? Let me think this through. If we drop it by one, it uses a little bit more of our vertical room. But I think it's okay. Yeah, it's fine. I can show you what I mean in a minute. Essentially, when these things go along, once they go along like this, they will come back up one, which means from our original power point at this level, it does drop by one. But that's not a problem. Okay, this needs to be extended a ways. I don't really know. You know what we'll do? For now, we will just extend it really far until we decide what exactly we want to do with this thing. This needs to come over by one. Right, hold on. Let me figure this out. I don't know which way I want to go. Let me just go ahead and have a look at this again. This thing can do it in that long. Okay. I'm trying to minimize repeater use, and I think doing it this way round is the most efficient way to do so. Because that means only half of the bits will use a repeater, am I right? Yeah. Yeah. Check this out. The way I did it before, this would be a redstone redstone, and it would go below, it would drop down one, like that. Which means then this one would have to go this way, and I'd have to put a repeater there to stop it from powering. Now, I haven't really spoke at all while I did that, so I'd probably time-lapse it. But essentially, all you're doing is taking each of the bits, like this, and taking the ones with, starting with dust, and taking them down, like so. And you need to drop them down by 2 in order to not interfere with this. Take it round, and then bring it back up, and bring them all to this point of meeting here. So the most condensed I could make it, after just playing with it for a few minutes, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks. Well, long, wide, you know, whatever. So your goal is to turn 8 bits that are touching each other like so into 8 bits that are 1 block apart. And once they are 1 block apart, you can go ahead and start your bus. Now I do suggest putting in a line of repeaters at the point where your wires die, so mine dies here. So I'm putting in my line there, and then we'll have an equal amount of delay to play with. Now obviously some bits are going to have more on than others, but that is okay. It doesn't matter that some bits are faster than others, because it's by 1 tick, and really 1 tick doesn't particularly matter when you're inputting. It's the process and the return that needs to be really, really quick, and needs to be equal as well. The input, it doesn't really matter, because if one pulse is 1 tick behind another, it's not a second, you know. If one line was a second later, so this one went through, and then 1 second later this one went through, so it was through, then that would be a problem, because you might press calculate while this one isn't through and this one is, if you get what I mean. Now in my last one I added in a kind of user-friendly thing, and that was 2 memory cells. in the style of these here. So I basically added a memory cell 1 and 2 to the thing. Now why I did that, I'm not really too sure, because later on there's another 2 memory cells that I used for the adder design that we're doing. So let me show you. So this is where we are. We have built the cell and we have started to build this bus here. Now this bus here is where it all goes down. That is pretty much where it all goes down. This whole area here is pretty much completely dedicated to these memory cells. And after looking back, I've realised that it's actually really tight. Like, everything is a little bit too close together in this thing. It's not really the best design because of how close everything is. Now I'm going to go ahead and say that we are going to make these memory cells, which you don't have to do. I'm going to say that. I mean, I think I would quite like to have these things in the new one because in a way they are quite useful. Now I haven't really shown you what this computer can do, and I should probably do that now. Now there's not many functions that have been added. These 3 here will be for the normal memory cell functions, and there'll also be another 3 here. Well, there won't be because this thing is kind of getting forgotten about, really. This was just my first attempt around at creating an ALU in this way, and now obviously we're going to do it for the second time round and make it slightly better in certain ways. Now here's a memory cell and a memory cell, here's the adder, here's the RAM cell here, here's a memory cell, here's a memory cell. So yeah, I think what I'm going to do is go over some of its functions.